Hello. Hello, everybody. This is Indigenous Monstrosity, and I am Monstrositus X. Uh, last Saturday was story time. Had a good time. Talked about a lot of stories like I used to, like I have been, but I gotta start focusing on getting a story started and completed, and trying to work towards what I want story time to be. And I figured at this time I can do two things. I want to introduce y'all to some of the characters that I was creating for my Stone God story, because I found a lot of my drawings, and you can see from this book, they're beat up, but you can see even back in the day, if you could make out this guy, I was doing my thing back then. I just didn't take it to the levels that I should have been because of circumstances. I'm not going to make any excuses because that's what I don't believe in, making excuses for anything. I'm responsible for myself, and so, but I didn't really know what I wanted, but I did know that I wanted to create different characters. He's one of the lead characters. Most in this book is going to be about the Stone God story. They're all the lead characters and the lead bad guys. And this is a scene where these guys have snuck into this is the mentor, the reptile dude. He saved them when they was children, and they sneak in and he trained them, and different things happened, and um, so yeah, this is I remember telling y'all that the Stone God story basically begins like Conan, because Conan was a big influence along with this movie right here, Fire and Ice. This is, oh, sorry about that, the glare. Let me there we go. Um, Fire and Ice. This is an animated movie from back in, I believe, the late 80s, early 90s. I think it's the late 80s, but mid to late 80s, 86 or something like that. And this is an animated movie. Frank Frazetta with his thick, juicy, booty-fied women, which I love to death. Man, I just love this movie. It's a very basic, simple story, and you're gonna see it influenced me because I was creating my own type of subhumans. That's what these guys. Oh, sorry, the glare again. These guys over here. That's a subhuman, and that's Dark Wolf up there, badass. He's basically Death Dealer. Frank Frazetta created a character called Death Dealer, and he basically adapted Death Dealer as Dark Wolf. And I say that because in the movie, you're going to see him on the top of in the very beginning, you're going to see him at the top of a hilltop in the same silhouette uh, as Death Dealer in one of the great illustrations or paintings that Frank Frazetta created. So, yeah, I love this movie. It's one of I had this on VHS, just like a lot of my animated stuff, and I had this. Did I have this on? No, I don't think I had this on DVD. But anyway, I got it now, and I've been ODing on it, just like Spriggan. I showed y'all a video before. This is my DVD. I couldn't find it on Blu-ray, but this is Spriggan. Um, I was gonna try and play it on my channel because I saw people online on Twitter asking for a copy, and I saw on Amazon it's like expensive as hell. It's like $200-300. So Amazon is doing their thing to help push everybody towards streaming, just like Disney and everybody else. I'm telling you all, it's all a scam, and I'm going to explain that. I'm going to be doing more videos explaining my topics, because all of my videos, as far as Disney is concerned and Marvel, they're going to be a sequential thing, because one thing leads to another, and I'm trying to explain myself slow. I'm just doing it too slow. I didn't want to get into the midst of things because I'm a little leery of being pissing off powerful people when I'm a nobody, you know what I mean? So and I don't want to hinder. I want to draw and create characters, but I don't want to hinder myself. And I don't want to be in the controversy, but I want to get people interested in my work and my topics and my videos, and controversy draws. That's all. I know that. I'm not stupid. I've been watching movies and TV for too long to not know. So I'm just giving my opinion. I'm not making anything up. It's just my opinion. The same thing I would do if you were my friend. So, and I hope to become your friend. And that's why this is a dedication from me to everybody watching my videos from now here on out. I've seen too much. I've loved too much, and I've wanted too much to do this. And so this is some of the stuff that I've been telling you about. This is my Dark Wolf is him, the mentor, and that's my lead character. He was supposed to be called Lion Claw. And this is the original stuff they were supposed to be fighting. In another book, I have the scene before this. It's a bigger book. This is just 11 by, I think, 8 or something like that. And so this is where the stone statues, I got to have that somewhere, because it doesn't make sense for me to tell you about it and not show it. Dang it. Okay, here it is. I got a mess. This is why I'm not drawing regularly. This is what my drawing table looks like. It's piled up with crap because I'm not finished cleaning and doing this to the room. I started doing it when my mother was still alive and she was getting sick, and I kind of stopped everything. So I'm not, again, not an excuse. It's just a reason why things haven't been getting done. And now I'm trying to set this stuff up in the midst of all of this garbage and try to get something done. And it's not going too well right now, but I'm going to do what I need to do for now, and that's try to get this work out, and then I could worry about cleanup later. So, or during. I just got to get my ass in gear. So this is a scene that I drew years and years and years ago in the 80s, I believe, or early 90s. And you can see the mentor smashed this guy's hand. Maybe I didn't separate them enough. I can still put it into Photoshop or something and darken up the foreground or push the back some, because they do kind of blend together. But this is before I knew anything. You can see everything is pretty flat. Even the cracks in the ground look kind of flat and off a little. But this was what I knew how to do at the time. This is what I knew to do at the time. And you can see it's basically, again, heavily influenced by this movie and Lord of the Rings, the animated movie, and this other movie. I don't have the box here, but I'm going to be reviewing The Legend of Crystania. It's an animated anime, and it's animated movies, about an hour and change, hour and 10, hour and 15 minutes long. And there's a sequence of movies that follow I think that movie was a spin-off from The Record of Lodos, which I just got, and I just started watching not too long ago. So I got to do a lot of reviews. I got to do reviews of my Thundercats. Believe it or not, I hope y'all guys know that the Thundercats in the original series back in the day, they were bucket ass naked in the first episode. I will show you. All right, but getting back to the Stone God story, this is going to be one of the scenes where they're going to try to sneak into the castle, and they get trapped off the wall. See, that's a rent up the wall up there. And yeah, so this is what I was doing years ago when I wanted, everything was real basic, and you can see I knew a little bit about what I was. I'm sorry if I sound cocky, but I only had myself to impress. My family, you can't really, they're going to say that your work is good no matter what, right? You can't really depend to give honest, true So all I had to depend on was what I saw within my work and then comic books. So I would gauge my stuff and I say, hey man, I think I can stay up with the best of them, man. Fuck that shit. I'm good. I had to tell myself that in order to get better. So you can see that I've been doing this. This is I've done for years. I haven't owned markers in a long time. I gotta get me some more. And I think all the markers that I used to do this kind of dried out by now if I hadn't used them. But these are all little sketches and stuff all towards, this is another one of my characters that's going to be in the story. This is stuff that I did. All this you can see that, well, I don't know. I haven't drawn anything that y'all can see. But I don't draw like this anymore. I definitely improved, but I do have the same influence. I would say my heaviest influences was Conan back in the day, the big black and white magazines. I believe John Buscema and John Byrne, the whole X-Men and the series Alpha Flights and all of that stuff that he spun off with. And then who else was the Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, the X-Men, the Hulk, Thor, Silver Surfer, Terrax. I loved Terrax. I loved his design, and he was. I know he was also a herald of Galactus. I like Galactus. This is why I look forward to having all of these different types of characters in my story, and I can't wait to. It's going to be an entire universe that I'm trying to open up to you, just like these stories. And this is the Stone God coming back. See, this is I was trying to explain how a reptile guy from one of his people kind of got banished, but since the Stone God was kind of put away, and this is the stone, but I'm gonna make the stone a lot bigger. It's blue stone, I called it, and see, these are all different kinds of scenes I was working on and creatures that I was working on. And this is the Stone God, and this is different characters that I was creating for the story. See, this is random characters that just came out of my head. I didn't name them yet. Just different types of designs I was working on. And this is one of the giant creatures I was going to be having in the story, terrorizing my sand lands. Different regions, there's going to be different creatures. See, so I was been working on for years. It's not something that I haven't looked through these books in years, man. This is the updated version from the Stone God. That's the old Stone God version, and this is the updated version. And then I have another drawing where he even has dragon. Oh, my fingers are tired from holding it like the camera. So that's why it shook like that. So yeah, all of these different. This is the version of that you'll see that I colored that I use on Indigenous Monstrosity um, representation, avatar. Excuse me. These are all different creatures that I intended to put in my story, man. That's he's also a reptile creature, but he's trying to do good because his people have been taking flack for years and years. So yeah, all of these creatures I had, these are all different trolls. See, I named he's gonna be a troll, probably gonna be a troll king. So it's not. I can do the work. I'm telling you. I've created characters. I have diversity in characters. I've gone through all kinds of renditions of that's what I do. This is what I do. I create all kinds of things, man, and I want y'all to see. Here's the kind of like in Fire and Ice. He Larn. Or is it Tigra? They come up to a ruined city, and on one of the pillars, there's an engraving of Darkwolf's face, so you knew he was like the king of this ruined city, and probably was destroyed by the bad guy. So I imagined what my good guy, uh, um, my mentors people would have looked like before they would been subjugated to ruin and degradation and banishment or whatever. So this is different helmet styles, and I was trying to come up with different weaponry. So I'm telling you, I do get, and this is people being created like my uh, you don't see how the subhumans came to be, but I'm showing you. He's creating subhumans, but they're not called subhumans. It's just that like I said, back then I was heavily influenced by things that I saw. So my story came together as a mash of, there was a lot of gods and different types of creations like that in, um, Legend of Crystania, where, like I was saying, explaining during story time, the gods their people were able to morph between humankind and their animal totem that they worshipped, or animal god that they worshipped. So if you worshipped a tiger god, you can morph into a tiger person. So I was trying to create different types of castles and keeps and all types of different areas for my people to be. Okay, I found that magazine. This is another beat up old ass book. It's all yellow and stained, and this is a tiger character I was creating. I don't think this is I think I was just a werewolf character. I don't know. I was fascinated with werewolves and tigers, but it's either in here. Oh, this is one of my cyborg creations from back in the day, and I was gonna streamline it, but I like it just the way it is now. I'm gonna change the headgear and do something with the arms. He was getting shots through the back, and this is a design of a character with some crazy hair. I guess some of that rock and roll stuff, some of them crazy characters you see sometimes back in the movie, like heavy metal movie and Star Wars and different types of things. I was coming up with all kinds of ideas. Here's another one, another design. I showed this. Another design I created years, 93 it says, years and years ago. So, like I said, boom, boom, boom. Let's see the crazy hairstyle. I can do the work, people. I'm telling you, I have it. And imagine, I've had 20 something years. Oh, there goes my fingers again. I've had 20 something years, and I've seen. It's not what my fingers do, it's what my eyes have seen. Because artists are nothing but thieves. We practice to mimic what we've seen for years. And unlike painting, right? The difference in artists is that when you draw, you're trying to use a line to represent a faded shade, because the body doesn't have sharp edges. So the pectorals don't have lines like that. You're trying to represent a shadowing, a shading, to represent and you put the line there, and that's what makes the artist different, because each artist sees a different line in the shade. You see what I'm saying? In the shading. So I represent my shading with my lines like this, but I know I'm going to have to do more when it comes to my inking. But every other artist does his, it comes out different for him because he sees the shading different. You see what I'm saying? He sees the shade and represents it in his way. And that's why a painter, he can show exactly what he sees because he could use all those different shades of light and dark. But a comic book artist has to represent those differences in light and dark with lines. So this is what we come up with. So and then it's just up for the public to determine whether you like it or not. So yeah, that's why I say there's different things that here's where I was doing a story. I was gonna introduce my character. I showed you before. He was in all red, and he had like a Magneto helmet or a Juggernaut helmet or a combination of the two. I'm not gonna give his name. I've been telling too much of my story, and no, now not really because I have too much story to tell, but I do have a lot of characters, ideas that I don't want to divulge too soon, and I might have already done that, and which I don't think it will spoil anything. So I was working on my paneling work. This was like the first time I started doing panel work, and I was supposed to be creating. I was gonna do some panels introducing that character, because my character was gonna have an issue. And he was going to be taking it to the X-Men and Professor X to try and get help. And I was going to do the whole story, and it was going to turn out that my character wound up helping, and he might have been declared like a dangerous thing, and they wanted to hold him because you know how the government is, and the X-Men got into it, and it was back and forth. I was drawing this whole thing out, and again, like I said, I got sidetracked trying to do a lot, and then things started happening, and so it's not in this book. But I'm glad I got to show you that. But it's in another book right beneath this. I just thought it was in that book. It's right in this right here. Right, see the big book? Yeah, it's the first thing that I drew in this book because I was dedicating everything to my Stone God story. See, this was the castle. I did a lot of design stuff. Again, everything was supposed to, but there's a castle design back in there. It's really faded. There's a, right there, you see right there? That's just the front part. There's a big wall that goes up right there. And I was supposed to be designing, and there was a hilltop here, but I could do better right here. This is where the story starts. See, I had the two statues, and the guy was to gauge the height, how tall he would look. And these guys, the mentor up on the hilltop, and the kid, the kid is right here next to him, pointing down. And then see this wall around? That's what came up around them. Once you get down in there, you're trapped. So I know I'm spoiling this story. But hey, this is what I have on my Stone God story. I'm trying to tell you. And up here, damn it, I'm blocking the light. Up here, you can see somebody looking down off of the wall. So this was years ago. I was doing all of the work, man. I was putting it in. And man, and I got sidetracked. That's all. But the story, I was doing the work. So I'm telling you. And here's some characters. I'm not going to show too many, but this is one of them I was working on. His name was Volcano. I call Kano or whatever. He might wind up in the book. It's time to erupt. You see? I was doing the work. I was putting in the effort. I was developing myself. So I'm telling you, I'm not a Johnny come lately, really. I'm just not a professional. Nobody, I've never sold anything to anyone. This is one of my ice guys. I'm not going to tell you his name. I got to keep something. I believe, and it's not Blizzard. So, but yeah, man, this is one of my ice dudes. See, he's frosting the place up. See, I'm trying not to show his name because it's up at the top. But yeah, this is one of my ice dudes. See, so I could draw them big and bulky. I could draw them thin. I could draw whatever I want, man. I'm telling you. So there's gonna be some characters that I don't want to. Here, I want you all to see this. I know I've shown it. I hope I've shown it. But this was some panel work I was working on. I was doing my own lettering. Look, we have an intruder trapped on the 14th level. Section 38. Send reinforcements. And that's what he is. They'll know this is the bad guys. We have one down, and the bullets are bouncing off. Boing, ding! And you can see the guys coming in from the top view. And so I got a close up, and I was doing this on my own. I got a close up, and then I hear guys like Zach saying, "Yo, you got to mix it up. You got to have a close up, you got to have a far away, and then you got to have middle ground stuff." So here's the good guy, and he says, "I could really use an exit, huh? I could really use an exit, huh?" Oh, no. He goes, "I could really use an exit." And then I think there's a boom right there. There's a boom. So I should have put that separately. He goes, "Huh?" That's what that is about. The boom. And he goes, "Huh?" And then down here, he turns towards the boom. Boom. What the? That's right in the wall right behind him while the bullets is pinging off the wall beside him. You see, I had that going on right there. Ping, boom. So, yeah, and then boosh, homeboy comes crashing through the wall and smashes. You see the bricks is flying and all of that. So yeah, and this was the first time I did panel work. The very first time that I got to this level. See, so I think I know what I can do. I think I could do it, man. Look at that. See, I believe that I can handle that, and I'm different now. Like I said, it's been 20 years. So this is just a little bit of stuff that I want to show. Oh, I can't show you that one. Oops, almost shit the bed. She's gonna be a bad guy in the story. Her name is Impale, but that's not how I'm gonna redesign her. Everybody's gonna be redesigned. She's a little too muscular. I don't draw women like this anymore. I worked more on my men back then, and I was getting into tightening up my women's stuff. So I was hit or miss back then, but now I could bang women out. That sounded fucked up, right? That sounded fucked up. Oh shit. I didn't mean it like that. I'm sure you know. Um, but here's a nice little illustration I was doing. Kind of a bat creature. I think this might have had to do with a Spawn character, because I did create a Spawn killer back when I was collecting all the Todd McFarlane and Spawn. I got that from #1. I think I must have like 200 books on it. I don't know, because I got a lot of them. So this is the creature he was riding. You see that? He's stabbing it. He's stabbing it with one spear and had a sword trying to cut the wing. See, I think it's sliced right there. So I might have had to do a better job, and if I'd have got colors to put to it. Let me see what I'm doing here. Oh, here's a good creature that I created. It's a whole painting. In the background there's this moon and the waterfall, and there's a tree right here, and he's about to climb it. And see, so if I have a camera, man, you could watch me draw and create and bring all of this stuff to life, man. You see, I just got to get me a camera. That's all. Something that I could have one of those arms like homeboy Ripper, homeboy Ripper. He had his camera. He showed that he does his new comic reviews with. I want to get an arm like that, and then I could put that sucker anywhere in here. Cause look, I got this desk that I bought back in the day. All of this It's a big L-shaped desk that goes across and around. I can't show y'all all my stuff. I got private stuff over there now. So, but it goes around. It's an L shape, and then right here I got my drawing. So I got like a little cubicle that I set up, and then over here I got my synthesizer, my keyboard is over here in the plastic bag, trying to keep dust off of it. So yeah, I eventually want to get one of those beatbox joints that I seen on YouTube, and put it there, and I can create my own beats and stuff like that. Cause I used to sing and shit, do a lot of shit back in the. I can't show you this girl. I would love to show you more about her. I can show you that much of her. I can show you that much of her, and then I can show you this much of her body. I can show you all of her body. But I can't show you her face and the top of her head because that's part of her design, and I want to save that. She's going to be introduced in the story. Probably she's going to be one of the cameos that I introduce in my story, and that you could be able to decide whether you want to see another book about her or what. All of that's what I'm telling you. I got characters out that I can pull out my ass left and right because I've been doing this forever, and y'all have seen this. This is just, and look, I even the year that I did it, and on the back I would draw the day, so I know exactly when I drew these drawings. Most of them when I signed them and I put the date, the year on it. The back of the page I put day and the date, the day and the month. But this is something I was just working on, just messing around, just designing a battle scene. Guy fighting in the background, and the big no-neck dude out here with his neck. Look at it, it's all wrinkled up, and he's just squeezing the hell out of this pipe, getting ready to smash something. Look at him. I know you don't see a whole lot of designs and stuff like that, but I didn't care about designs. I cared about getting my body positions, my muscles, so that everything. This is what made me, drove me. I knew I could design my ass off. I could do that at any time. This is what I wanted to learn. Any position, anything that I wanted to draw, I could draw it, and in a nice way that it represented a female flying into battle using. See, this is I wanted to clear up. I hope this doesn't cut my video in half because it's 33 minutes, and it used to do that, but I had to reboot the camera, and I'm hoping that my phone, and I'm hoping that I can get away with a few more minutes. But I was talking about my deformity character, and Hoth Rebel asked me about psionics. Was it Hoth or Chris? It might have been Chris. He asked me about psionics, and I believe psionics is mental abilities and the powers to generate energy beams and stuff like that with your mind. So that's what I believe psionics is, and that's what I was. He's like telepathic, and he has telekinesis, and he can generate psionic beams. So